Francis Ngannou's post-UFC career has been a roller coaster of events and emotions. He first landed a multi-million-dollar PFL contract in mid-2023 and then shocked the world by sending Tyson Fury reeling in his boxing debut later that year. But then, Ngannou's life took a dark and unfortunate turn as he first got knocked out cold by Anthony Joshua, and then lost his 15-month-old son, may he rest in peace, due to brain malformation.
In the apartment and see all his toys, the stuff that he was playing, the thing that you take from him the other day and put here is right there, but he's not there anymore and will never be there anymore.
The question is, should Ngannou really be returning to the cage in such an emotionally bad state, especially against a behemoth like Renan Ferreira? Ngannou thinks he should because that's the only way he can honor his late son.
Find a strength out of him, to find him as a motivation to keep going instead of to quit, So I think it's the best way of honoring him.
Whether Ngannou is ready or not, PFL's 2023 heavyweight champ Ferreira won't shy away from hunting down the predator if he gets the chance to do so.
Again, he has a big problem ahead of him. He knows I have knockout power. I can wrestle him. I can bring him down to the ground. I can knock him out. I can submit him. So, again, he has a big problem ahead of him.
Renan Ferreira is truly a problem. A 6'8" and 263-pound problem that easily outsized Ngannou during their face-off. The Brazilian is an absolute hulk, but that doesn't mean he's slow and lethargic like most giant fighters are. He's like a flat-footed Cyril Gane who moves around really well with rapid-fire strikes. His 1-2 combo is particularly lethal, allowing him to land clean shots while staying out of harm's way thanks to that massive 85-inch reach. Ferreira has a lot of different tools in his arsenal, which he utilizes to perfection against smaller opponents. He has thudding low kicks, a very snappy front kick to the body and face. His jabs are super effective, and his right hand in particular packs a lot of power. He's also nasty on the ground with his ground and pound. We have yet to find out how good he is with his submissions because he only has one submission in his career, but given the fact that he trains out of Team Nogueira, he must be good enough. Will he be good enough to take Ngannou down and submit him? I'm not sure about that because Ngannou's wrestling has come leaps and bounds ever since he joined hands with Extreme Couture. Now, it's true that Ferreira doesn't boast a Ngannou-like resume. He hasn't taken out the likes of Stipe Miocic, Cyril Gane, or Curtis Blades. But what he does have is a 21-second demolition of Ryan Bader, courtesy of a slick two-punch counter followed by ruthless ground and pound. It wasn't the hardest shot, but it was more than enough to put Bader to sleep. That win showed Ferreira could hold his own against top-tier competition, but aside from Bader, most of his victories have come against heavyweights who likely wouldn't crack the UFC's top 10, where, not too long ago, Ngannou reigned supreme. That's a different level right there. Ferreira has looked really good against mid-tier fighters, bar Bader of course, but Ngannou will be his first real test, and one that Ferreira can pass, especially now that Ngannou's chin has been cracked. The possibility of lightning striking twice will linger in the Cameroonian's mind, giving Ferreira a subtle psychological advantage as they head into their showdown at PFL Super Fights in October. If Ngannou stays in range for too long, Ferreira's in and out movement and snappy 1-2s could crack the former UFC heavyweight champion. Ferreira's kicking game could play a pivotal role in this matchup. As mentioned earlier, he's a big guy, bigger than Ngannou, and his front kicks could be crucial in keeping the ferocious Ngannou at a safe distance. But that's only if Ferreira decides to utilize them, because the threat of getting taken down will always be there given how good of a wrestler Ngannou has become over the years. However, Ngannou is still a guy who loves to trade punches more than relying on kicks or wrestling, and you can bet that'll be his main focus when fight night rolls around. Francis Ngannou is a destroyer. He's the hardest-hitting heavyweight in MMA, and he is scary as hell. But there are so many more layers to his game than just power. For instance, the Predator is very patient. Patience and power don't often go hand in hand, especially in the heavyweight division, where knockout artists tend to rush in for a quick finish. But Ngannou is different. He's got that rare ability to bide his time, waiting for the right moment to strike. One of the biggest improvements in his game has been the ability to pick the right moment to attack. In his rematch against Stipe Miocic at UFC 260, Ngannou stayed back and threw low kicks, patiently waiting for an opportunity to pounce, and when he did, he left Miocic folded like a lawn chair on the counter. Ngannou's greatest weapon has always been his ability to draw opponents in and then catch them on counters. More often than not, the opponent ends up lunging forward, leaving themselves exposed and off balance. Once Ngannou evades their attack, he counters almost instantly with devastating hooks or uppercuts. Whether it's a left-right combo or the reverse, it's deadly either way. Many fighters instinctively try to duck after overcommitting, and that's when Ngannou's uppercut finds its mark. After leaning away, Ngannou strikes back immediately, often with powerful hooks or uppercuts. It doesn't matter if he throws a left-right combination or the other way around, his punches are always dangerous. Another key opening for Ngannou's uppercut comes when opponents duck away from his cross. While the cross might not be as renowned, it still packs significant power. As his opponents lower their heads, usually out of desperation rather than a skilled slip or roll, Ngannou can effortlessly capitalize with his signature uppercut. So, Ngannou is pretty much like Ferreira in that regard, but what Ngannou holds over Ferreira at this point is superior boxing plus the it factor. Ngannou's reputation for being downright intimidating and fearsome is well-deserved. Most fighters avoid trading blows with him, dreading the knockout power he possesses, and Ferreira will be no exception. The Brazilian will be acutely aware that he's facing a fighter whose punches hit with the force of a speeding Ford Escort. Just one well-placed shot could end the fight, so Ferreira will be wary of Ngannou's power. I expect Ferreira to lean heavily on counterattacks, making it crucial for Ngannou to stay cautious and smart as he presses forward. When it comes to wrestling and grappling, Ngannou holds the upper hand. His size and strength are massive advantages in both defense and offense. Defensively, he sprawls effectively and uses his weight and positioning to thwart takedown attempts. Offensively, while his double leg technique is solid, his sheer power allows him to grab an opponent and slam them to the ground. If Ngannou can't land a knockout shot on Ferreira, he's more than capable of taking the Brazilian down and dominating on the mat. There's actually a good chance that Ngannou opts to wrestle, given that he might have doubts, especially after being knocked down twice and knocked out cold by Anthony Joshua in his most recent boxing bout. Such knockouts are a significant psychological blow for any fighter, even someone as mentally tough as Ngannou. As a result, he'll likely be extra cautious, especially given the fact that he hasn't fought in a cage in over 2 years. Moreover, there's a lot at stake for him. He needs to win to prevent his stock from falling, and most importantly, he needs to win for his son. That deep personal motivation could ignite a fire within him strong enough to overwhelm any heavyweight in the PFL. In heavyweight fights, the variables are endless, but it only takes one powerful shot to end it all, and that's the beauty of the sport we love. Personally, I see this fight as a close call. Given Ferreira's impressive rise, Ngannou's recent struggles, and his time away from MMA, I'd slightly lean towards the Brazilian. His physical attributes, mental state, and recent form give him an edge. But anything can happen in the unforgiving world of MMA. Who do you think will come out on top between Francis Ngannou and Renan Ferreira at PFL Super Fights in October? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.